What's up everyone? Ross here with Gavin, and we're going to talk to you about position sizing. What do you think about that?
The blue light glasses?
Yeah, because we're both wearing blue light glasses.
True. I don't know. I think the comments are going to have to decide who wins on.
What do you guys think?
On
Mine?
The better ones.
Or his? I like them both. All right, so now I want you to try to play cool. You know, I know you're kind of sitting here with your spiritual leader, which is probably like, a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but I know you're going to do well. So I want to talk about position sizing. So today was kind of an interesting day for me, and you're a trader, so I kind of want to bounce this idea off you. I feel like one of my problems is inconsistent position sizing. So for example, when I'm trading, like today, I'm going easy, I'm trading with small size, and then all of a sudden I see something and I'm like, oh, that looks like a great opportunity. And now I take 3 times my normal position size. I go like super aggressive on it. And, of course the result today was that it ended up being a loss. And if it had ended up ripping, if I had not taken bigger share size, I would have felt like I didn't maximize on position, right? I would have felt like, man, I only took 3,000 shares and this thing went like 50 cents a share. Why didn't I size up?
Yep.
Right? So sometimes people have asked, Ross, why don't you just use the same share size like all year round, every day? Whether it's 3,000 shares or 6,000 or 9,000, just use the same share size every day. It'll average out. And my reason for not doing that has always been that I don't want to take full size during a crappy market. And on the other hand, during a hot market, I feel like I'm under capitalizing on the opportunity to go with small size. So what ends up happening is that pretty much any given day, my share size will fluctuate between 3,000 shares and like 20,000 shares. And I'm not super good, I feel like, at knowing if I'm adjusting my share size based on true market data or my own emotion, like the frustration of missing something.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, that's something that I think every trader struggles with across the board.
Yeah.
I know I definitely do, because you always want to be bigger in the trades that you do well in, and then you're always too small in the trades that you do well. So it's like it's hard to really focus on, and it's hard to know, not just to focus on your share size, but hard to know what trades you're taking are actually conducive to being those home run trades, whether it's the setup or the criteria that you're looking for, or if the market's hot and whether that setup is going to yield a really home run trade.
Right.
So it's really something I struggle with.
So what do you do?
For me, I personally, it really depends. I try to look at just the criteria that I'm looking for in a trade, and since I've been trading some more large cap stocks, I've been looking for just some specific things that if they all align, that's something that I'm gonna put on more risk for.
Okay.
And for trades that I am just interested in and think maybe could yield a better or a good risk reward, those ones I tend to use less share size, but it's something I'm working on and definitely struggle with.
So you do actively adjust your share size based on what you perceive as the quality of the setup on any given day. So you might go from, let's say, 1,000 shares to 3,000. You'll go up and down based on what you're seeing in front of you. Yeah,
and depending on obviously there's a lot of factors that go into it, but depending on the time of day, what kind of volume you're seeing in the stock, what kind of news was on the stock, all those factors kind of attribute to whether I'm looking to take larger size or if it's just something where I just take my normal risk.
So, the stock I traded today, APOP, great pre-market chart, made like $4,000 on it yesterday. It's a recent reverse split. It's gapping up 40%. It's got a pre-market high of 410. It's consolidating. The whole pre-market was a beautiful flag. I get in for the break of 4, it goes to 403, and then like drops back to 360. Now, to me, it looked the same as a setup that last week would have probably ripped to 450, maybe 5, maybe even 6 or 7. And so that's one of those factors that's kind of confusing, because on one day, a stock with no news ends up going up 300%, and on the next day, a stock with great news and a great pre-market chart and everything on the daily charts checks out ends up failing. So that's the area where I feel like just the technical indicators, they fall short because they can't tell you market sentiment.
I'd agree, and I think that those trades that do have those A plus, the A plus criteria.
Yeah.
And so putting on good risk or like more risk for those trades is something that you want to be doing, but it's not always going to work out every single time, even though we want it to, and even though it has a high probability of it, there are always going to be those outliers that don't. And depending on if it's the market that we're in, or we obviously last week we saw follow through, but this week we haven't been seeing as much. And who's to say whether it's the market we're in or if there was some, it's hard to say why it didn't work out, but that's kind of the whole battle as a trader.
At the end of the day, it's about percentages. So, if your accuracy is 70%, then over the long haul, you'll be profitable. Unless, you take 7 trades where you risk 100 to make 200, and then you take 3 trades where you risk 10,000 to make 100, and then it doesn't matter that you're right 70% of the time, you're still losing money because you're fluctuating your risk so greatly. And I think for me, having built up to trading in a larger account, it's easy to take 10,000, 15, 20,000 shares. And on a day when the market's hot, boom, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 of profit. But that same exact setup on another day can result in a $10,000, $15,000 loss. Same exact setup, everything the same. The only difference is something in the market that's not tangible, that you can't really pinpoint. You can't, there's no indicator for it. It's either there or it's not.
Definitely, trading in front of people every day definitely makes having those swings, like you've gone over in the last few videos, trading those swings is definitely a lot harder, and taking those losses and showing everyone and then having everyone's input on them can definitely be a struggle, because there are days where you take a good trade and all the setup's there, but it just doesn't work out, but that's part of the progression of trading and the percentages.
So I think the thing that I'm thinking about is I want to try to smooth out this roller coaster that I'm on, which is partially the result of, taking a big loss and then trading with small share size while I recoup, missing a great opportunity, then overcompensating with huge share size on the wrong one, and this kind of wild trading pattern. And I'm wondering if I wouldn't do better if I just, for this month, for instance, if I had just traded with like 3,000 shares for every trade I took for the whole month. At the end of this month, would I have actually made more money, even though I wouldn't have had those really big green days? And I might have felt FOMO because I missed and under kind of leveraged on the days when stocks went up 300%. But I then, on the trades that went the wrong way, wouldn't have, taken so much risk that now 3 losses disproportionately affect my entire profit loss ratio, and essentially, cut my entire monthly profits down by like 60% because of 3 $10,000 red days or whatever the case is. What would you say to just using the same share size every day? What if I told you you have to do it?
I would say that if you're looking at, like me personally, if you're looking at the relative account size, if you're going to allocate 3,000 to every single trade, then I would expect all those trades to have the same criteria and have the same setup and the same quality of setup.
Yeah, so your quality standard, so instead of
would have to
saying,
be a little more
well,
narrow.
I'll take smaller share size on this because it's only a B setup, if you're saying same share size, then all of a sudden, everything has to be of quality.
So, I mean, then maybe that will lead to you end up focusing on only those A+ setups and not trading those B setups. But the FOMO may still come in, but if you're only trading that share size, I mean, you can always call up the broker and be like, hey, only limit me to 3,000
Right, that's
position
true.
size.
And the thing is, I could always
hold you
take
to it.
3,000 shares of Tesla, because that's only 900 grand.
Yeah, same risk. Same risk, you know?
Yeah. If it's 3,000 shares, it's 3,000 shares.
You
But if
could
I'm going to
always
stick
do
with small
that.
caps, if I'm going to, because that's see that there's always a loophole.
Yeah.
As a habitual
True,
rule
true.
breaker,
Yeah.
there's always a
Just
loophole.
switch over to trading large caps.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Mike.
Now I trade large caps. I said 3,000 shares. I didn't say anything about price range. But I think for me that is the challenge, because even if I do limit myself to 3,000 shares, if I have 3 losses, let's say, and they're 300 bucks each, I'm down 900. Then I'm going to feel like, man, to get myself back to flat or back to break even, I'm going to have to get like a 40, 50 cent winner with 3,000 shares. That's not realistic. It's much easier to grab 20 cents with 9,000. And now I'm not just back to flat, I'm back to green. And I've sometimes done that where I dig myself down and then I take a little bit of a bigger swing and that pops me from, happened yesterday, down 3 grand to up almost 6,000 on the day. For me, it's kind of like over the long term, if I'm long-term profitable, so there's some whips, in the roller coaster, there's some ups and downs, but long-term, if it works, it works. I think it just feels like I could do better.
I wouldn't be able to say that it wouldn't make you do better. I don't think anyone can say that when it comes to trading, and especially percentage. If you look at the numbers, they don't lie. So I mean,
Well, see, and that's the thing. I don't have strong data to back up this thought that perhaps I would do better if I just stuck with the same share size, because I haven't done it. And the way I look at my trades, from going back at all my trades, I can see the trades I took, but I can't see, at least in the reports that I run, it doesn't show the share size. It just shows like the total shares traded through the position, which might have been buying, selling, getting in and out. So I would have to really, I'd have to put my money where my mouth is and actually test it for a period and see, is the net positive?
yeah, no, you definitely. I mean,
You think I'm up for it?
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I may need to come and check on you once in a while to make sure, but I think you'll.
Yeah.
I think
Remember,
you're
I'm the
consistent
spiritual
enough.
leader. You're trying to outshine me in my own video. All right. I think this is a good place to end the video. He's had too much time in the spotlight. All right, guys.
Got to my
Questions,
head.
comments, leave them below, and I'll see you guys for the next video. You want to learn more about trading? Check out some of the links in my description, and if you have questions, ask them in the comments. I personally respond to every question posted on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe.